Welcome, Pokemon players, to another episode of Discount Pokemon Decks. Today I have a very cool deck. I'm really excited to show this to you. I won like my first 7 games with this deck. I'm not exactly sure how strong it is. It seems pretty strong. I gave it to someone else who said they won a bunch of games with it too, so maybe I'm onto something here, maybe not. You'll have to decide. Today's deck is Ho-Oh Vikavolt. Yeah. I've seen online a couple people try to pair Vikavolt with Dragonite, and the idea was given to me by 21 Times, a channel follower, who said he'd try the same thing without as much success, trying to make it work. And this idea just came to me, and I went with it, and I've been loving this deck since then. I'm just playing this so much, and it's a lot of fun to play. It's really a handful once it gets going. It's like I described it as like a rock, a big boulder. So it takes a long time to move it, but once it's moving, it's really hard to stop, and that's exactly what this deck is. So let's talk about the focal point first. Focal point of this deck is Ho-Oh's attack Elemental Feather, which does 130 damage to the active Pokemon and 30 to one of their bench Pokemon, which is pretty cool. That's 160 damage total, which is a pretty good amount, especially if you're sniping off some of his bench stuff. Most things will be two-shotted. Hard to think of things that won't be two-shotted, but in any case, barring healing or whatever, it's pretty strong. And combined with Vikavolt's ability, Strong Charge. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for a green and a grass and lightning energy and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like. So basically, once you get this stage 2 going, he could put 2 energy on this Ho-Oh. And as you can see, it needs 3 different energy, which makes it kind of difficult. But, if you have the water already, then with one Vikavolt, this could be charged in 2 turns. Or really in 1 turn, if you think about it. If you're already a little bit into the game, you already have your Vikavolt. Ho-Oh is there. You put 1 energy on him. Vikavolt puts 2. In 1 turn, he's all charged. He went from no energy to being fully charged and ready to attack. So it's pretty cool. And you'll find what tends to happen when this deck is going, and it's going well. You'll have 1 attacking, and you could charge up the next one, and maybe a 1 after that, or you could even charge up this Vikavolt for his Electro Cannon, which does 150 damage. Granted, you have to discard 3 energy, but that's not a problem when you have a Pokemon. Not that much of a problem when you have a Pokemon that puts 2 energy per turn. So if anything's a focal point, I mean, these two are 2 very strong, I guess, traits that we have that kind of work with each other. So Ho-Oh's 180 hit points, more with Fighting Fury Belt, does a fair amount of damage, does some on the bench. By the way, if you have fire energy, you can heal 50 damage from it per turn. So you can even potentially retreat 1, attack with the other, slap a fire energy on him, and let him heal if your opponent doesn't one-shot him. With this Vikavolt attack, this ability is a very good ability, putting 2 energy on in 1 turn without having to attack. 2 different energy, and with the ability to do 150 damage as well. So that's going to one-shot a lot of things short of EXs and GXs and clean up any mess you have with Ho-Oh. So 2 very strong Pokemon, not exactly quick, because again, getting 3 energy on him, although once you have Vikavolt out, powering up 1 Ho-Oh can be done in 1 turn. So there are 2 really strong elements in this deck, and that's what I think makes it so powerful. There's some good synergy in this deck. So obviously we're going to be needing energy and discarding energy. So of course we have 4 different energy types. 4 of each of grass, lightning, and water. Water being one of the critical ones because we can't use Vikavolt to get it out, but we'll talk a little more on that later. And only 2 fire because we don't really need it for attack. And, how many times are you really going to use it to heal up? I find it's not as useful as you would think. And you really need these other energies in your deck. So if you have one, you can toss it on, and you have a free turn, you could toss it on one of them. If he needs healing, you could toss it on one of them in a turn. But otherwise, it's really not needed. So there's some synergy there. with obviously all our Pokemon. Energy Recycler, we have 2 of these, and this lets you shuffle 5 basic energy back in your deck. It is an item card. So obviously we're going to be discarding and losing a lot of energy, and we're going to use Energy Recycler to get it back. We have a Super Rod as well, just in case we sycamore some of our Vikavolts, or we need something else back, or we need 3 energy. Hey, Super Rod does a little bit of it all, so that's really helpful. We have a Fighting Fury Belt, which will go on our Ho-Oh. Only 2 of them. I don't really... This deck is a little tight. You could see I have to like scroll down a little bit because I'm on the 4th row here. So this deck's a little bit tight. You know, again, this is another one of those decks I'd love to go 65, 70 cards with. Easily I could make a more powerful deck, I think. But, you know, limited to 60, that's okay. You know, you have to make choices, and that's where I've made them. So 2 Fighting Fury Belts, usually you get them pretty quick on them. And when you do, it just makes them so much harder to attack. So imagine this in your head. You've got a Pokemon that has 220 hit points, does 140 damage to active and 30 to 1 bench. Oh, and he has the possibility of healing himself 50 damage per turn. That's a pretty powerful Pokemon. Oh, now just imagine you could put 3 energy on him in 1 turn. That would be like the greatest card ever, and that's kind of what you get with this combo. Just let that sink in for a second. We do have 2 Professor's Letters in this deck, and early on you may use them for Grass or Lightning, but more likely you use it for Water, water's the critical one early on in the game, because you can't use Vikavolt to get the Water, and you need it to attack. So getting a Water on him is important, and you can also use it to get a Fire. You could use it to get anything, really. So it's pretty cool. So we have 2 of those in our deck. Other than that, the deck's pretty standard. Obviously, we need, you know, some balls and Evosodas or whatever to get our Pokemon out. So I have 2 Ultra Ball, 2 Nest Balls, 1 Evosoda. It just works out this way. I have a 3-3-2 line, so it's not that hard getting this evolved. Usually works out pretty well. Some decisions I made here. I'm going with this line of supporters. So 4N, 2 Sycamore. Only 2 because I kind of feel like there's a lot of useful stuff here. So sometimes I'll get like 2 energy recycles and I Sycamore them away, and then I'm toast later in the game because I don't have it. So I try to be a little more mindful of that. This deck's a little bit sensitive to discarding card. It's different if you're using an Ultra Ball. You can choose to use it or not. But if you're stuck and you have no draw, you're just going to Sycamore your hand away, and that could be hurtful if you use something that you really need. So I do have 2 Birch. I'm slowly warming up to Birch a little bit. In certain decks, like a deck like this, I think it's okay because it's okay to get 4 cards. Usually I only have 2 Birch in the whole deck, and you usually won't be at a very critical part. I'll already be attacking. I don't want to use a Sycamore. I don't want to use an N to give my opponent cards. So that's when I'll, hopefully get a Birch and use a Birch. And if I draw the 4 cards, it's usually okay by then. It's not a game ender. So, and I have 4 Trainers Mail. Trainers Mail I think is important in this deck because I need to get a lot of, you see I have a lot of cards in this deck. I need to get a lot of these cards. So basically, like if you look from here, there's 1 whole row, basically 2 whole rows of cards I can potentially get. Sometimes I'll need an Ultra Ball. Sometimes I'll need a Super Rod. Sometimes I'll need a Paint Roll. Whatever it is, if I need some draw, then that's gonna help me get it. If we look at the go back to our sheet, we look at the odds. I have 10 supporters, 4 Trainers Mail, so it only gives us a rather high rate of 19% of a failed draw on the first hand, according to my calculations. The thing is, I'm okay with that with this deck, and here's the reason why. If we go back and look at the first sheet on it, we have 14 energy in this deck. So in our opening hand, there's an 86% chance we're going to have at least 1 energy. It's pretty good. There's only a 14% chance we'll have no energy in our deck. So I'm okay with waiting a turn or 2 for one of these supporters to get in my hand. As long as I'm placing energy on my Pokemon, I'm doing okay. So I'm not that worried. Even if I have to top deck it, all right, there's only a 26% chance of top decking. But if I use something like a Kukui, there's a 50% chance I'm going to get an energy in my hand from 14 there. So I'm not wasting turns. Usually in a deck, you're wasting turns if you don't have any draw because you're not placing energy down, right? That's in one of the ways, that's like the tempo of a deck, right? How much energy you can put on dictates how fast you can attack and how much you can attack for. So it's kind of one of the limiting factors. So as long as I'm putting energy on per turn, I feel okay with that. If I do have to top deck one of those 10 supporters, actually technically it's 14 because I could get a Trainers Mail there, so it's still a pretty good odds. So just top decking, only 26% if I do the Kukui, 47%, almost 50%. It's not that bad. It's very likely I will get one of those cards, so I feel okay with that. That said, there's not much else. Oh, one last thing. I don't know if I talked about this yet, the switch. I only have one switch in this deck, and the reason why is it's okay to... So he costs 2 energy to retreat, and he costs 3. I don't mind chucking that energy to retreat because I can lay it back on, and I can use Energy Recycler or Super Rod to get it back in my deck. So retreating's not an issue. You know what? If I have a Pokemon there, if my Ho-Oh is a little damaged, I can retreat him as long as I have another one. Use Vikavolt to power up the new one and avoid any damage and maybe hopefully get a fire energy on him. So I'm not scared of getting stuck. The only time it really happens is it happened to me with this deck once. I was facing a Wailord Slowking deck, and he trapped my my Vikavolt as my main Pokemon and threw a whole bunch of energy on Ho-Oh. And I was literally like, it was a few times I was able to get the energy on him where I could switch, and then he'd Lysander him back, and I was just like one short. I think he Team Rocket handiworked one of my energy recyclers, my last energy recycler away, and I couldn't bring back any energy, and that was it. So it was really close. It was a good battle. My opponent won out in the end. But, I'm not too concerned with that. You know what? For today's giveaway, we're going to do something a little special because I like this deck so much. I'm going to give away all the Pokemon in this deck. So, again, the giveaway is for one person that comments, a good comment or not. I'll let you know you're the winner. I decided you don't have to put your IGN name in the comment. I'll let you know, and then you can offer me a trade in the game. And I'm going to give away 4 Ho-Ohs and 332 Vikavolt. If you're not winning the giveaway, these cards aren't that expensive. I think you can get the Ho-Ohs for about 1 pack each. And I think a whole line of Vikavolt maybe for 1, maybe 2 packs. 332, you should be able to get that with 1 pack. And so this is a cheap EX deck. So let's see, 5 packs, you should be able to get about the whole thing. Aiming high, 5 to 8 or 10. But this is a discount deck. This is a really strong deck, I think. And I'm looking forward to playing some games. So we're going to do that right after a short break. All right, folks, here we go. Dark and Psychic. This could be a lot of things. Probably going to see some GXs, I'm guessing. Maybe that Psychic's a Garbodor. Wow, this is amazing opening hand. This is like the best opening hand. I mean, literally, I can't imagine it being that much better. Maybe getting rid of one of these energy, replacing it with anything else. And maybe these being water. This guy being a water energy. That would be it. Train like a Evosoda, because then I wouldn't even have to play the Sycamore till turn 2. But, wow. Feeling good here. I'll almost certainly play that energy and then Sycamore, unless I get something different in my hand. If I get an Evosoda, I'll hold that and evolve him. Very important to evolve this to Vikavolt. Alright. Oh, look at this. Yeah, now I'm going to totally Sycamore this hand away. And this is looking very good. Wow. Okay, this is really good. No point to play this Nest Ball. No point to play anything else. Evosoda 1 turn. Fire Energy next. Turn after Vikavolt. Then I can N or Birch. So my opponent had Dark and Psychic. Let's see what he's Sycamoring his whole hand. So I got the best hand ever. It looks like he got the worst hand. Alright, so. I'm going to get rid of a Grubbin. And I'm going to draw a card in a second for the Parallel City. So he's going to come at me with Zoroark. So Parallel City and Zoroark, still see that as a little bit of a card in opposition. I'd love to get I need a water energy. And I'm going to be in trouble with that one. I'll go with Kukui, because that doesn't make me shuffle my hand. So another reason why to have this, because you see I have the nice setup here. Kukui doesn't ruin your hand. I'm tempted to put a nest ball down. I'm scared. What if he puts down? You know what? We can deal with that. If I lose a Ho-Oh, that's fine. Let's go with another Grubbin. Because these guys together, I think you can almost make a deck alone with Vikavolt. Maybe something like a Tauros to wall off for a bit. But these guys, with two of them, you can power up one in one turn. It's pretty cool, as long as you have all the energy in your deck. A little short on grass here. All right, so we'll take that stadium. Sycamore again. So my opponent, wow, chose to get rid of the max elixirs, which I guess makes sense. All right, Yveltal. I'm guessing we're going to see Garbodor soon, and if we do, we must deal with him. So if I see a Trubbish, I mean, if you think about it, he's not awful to power up alone, especially if this is fine. All right, my opponent's going to be in a world of hurt soon, as long as I could get an water energy. So if I can get one from the Trainers Mail, let's thin out our deck a little bit. Sure. So we'll put... Alright, so that's our last grass energy. So grass will go on. And Ho-Oh. Lightning on our active. We just need one water. If I can get a letter here. Oh, that's teasing. Alright, we're going to play N. We need to get that one water energy. And I can heal this guy, and I will as soon as I get a chance. Did not get the water I needed, so we're going to have to wait a little bit. And I could still place an energy down. Look at that. We'll heal this Pokemon. So right now we have our own little wall. So I said these guys are good with the wall. Well, we have one here. Except I don't have draw. I don't have a draw to get that water energy. I have 4 in my deck. 27 and 6 is 33. So it's 1 in every 8 cards. It's not a great chance to get it outright. I may have to power up this Vikavolt and start attacking. And who's weak to lightning? Yes, Mr. Shaman. So I can draw some cards that way by targeting a Shaman. Alright, if I get that water energy, I'm basically one-shotting everything he owns. If I don't, my guys could be out. So Kukui is all I have. Let's use this power first. I may not even have any energy. Yeah, only 1. So 1, 2. We'll power up him. No, did not get what I needed. So we'll heal up and probably retreat. He's doing 140. So 90. So he will get knocked out. So here we go. You know what? We want to retreat. We'll put this Ho-Oh as our active. I can place a lightning energy back on this guy. Not much to do here. Oh, I could have used switch. And I probably should have. I did not realize that. Well, but my opponent doesn't really have anything that scares me. I'm 1 water energy away of starting to run the table. 2, really. And maybe something to recycle some of this energy. So if you look here, there's 3. So I need to start putting them back in. Oh, he's going after this guy. My big guy. All right. Bring it on. Good play by my opponent. So what is he ultra balling out? Another Shaman? Oh, Yveltal. Okay. Well, we can start doing damage on... I don't know who I'm going to do the 30 to. So, water energy eluding us right now. I'm not going to place this energy yet because I need to save it for the water. Do I want to thin out my deck so that the N has a better chance of increasing? The answer is going to be yes. I'm going to save this lightning energy because I may need it. Sure, why not? We're going to put him down mostly to get him out of our deck. We're not going to place that lightning. We need to save it for the water. Water energy, yes. And a professor's letter, beautiful. And an energy recycler, so here we go. And a fighting fury belt. So I mentioned this deck here. Look at this, 5 energy, all back in my deck. Was it a huge thing that I used a switch instead of instead of retreating and losing energy? I don't think so right now. Here, let's start putting energy on more Pokemon. 1, 2. So this Ho-Oh is going to be ready. And if I'm smart, I power up one of these Vikavolts. So why not? Or maybe I put it on... He might Lysander me to try to slow me down. Let's just put it on these guys. I can still get more energy, so I need 2 water here. Look at that. 1, 2. So we have all our Pokemon ready. Oh, I can't put any more energy. I'm not going to play Trainers Mail. I don't see any point. 30 damage. You know what? Let's target the Shaman. The one without the... So he's got an energy on that. If he wants to use a turn to put an energy on him and retreat him, that's fine. And the other thing I can do is go after this Yveltal next with the Lysander. Let's see who he's powering up, and that's who I'm going to Lysander. Probably 2 on this Yveltal. Nope, 2 on him. So that's the next attacker. You know what? Let's not even give him a chance. Let's get rid of Stadium, draw a card. 13 cards left in our deck. Do I have any energy here? Nope, but if I need to somehow get energy, I can retreat. Let's heal our Pokemon. Let's take down the Zorua. Because if he evolves, he put 2 energy on him for an obvious reason, right? Let's go after the Shaman. Liability once it's played. So let's hold off his attackers. What does he have now? Yveltal. So we're still going to go after the Shaman. We're going to one-shot this guy. That's fine. I've got more here. We've got more attackers. Even if he one-shots me, I'm not that concerned. These guys are all ready to attack. No point in doing anything with these guys yet. Let's heal. One-shot is Yveltal. Should I check? No, let's one-shot this guy. Well, you know what? I am going to check, because if I can Lysander one of these guys, we're going to play the N. I mean, we're going to keep the N. I don't want to play it. I want to keep this energy recycler. So again, this is a kind of deck. Sometimes you have a deck where you don't want to shuffle your cards all the time. I don't want to shuffle these cards in. And he can play an N and hurt me, but I want to keep this because this is everything I need. No. One more attack and this Shaman's done. Look at that. If he's smart, he'll put an energy on him and retreat. Nope. So I'm going to knock this guy out and put a ton of damage in this Yveltal. Ooh, he is weak to lightning. I may do something different here. He is weak to lightning. 1 Vikavolt attack and he's knocked out. I wish I'd seen that sooner. And I can charge him up in one turn. So I'm going to put him as active. I'll put a red on him. Oh, look at that. Don't even need to. I can retreat if I want. Now he's going to one-shot whoever else. I need to get this guy powered up. He can use these 2 energies, so I'm going to put 1 on him. I'm going to retreat. Well, first let's heal. Actually, I can win the game here. I don't even have to do all this. I can Lysander. So my thinking was I would play the end, retreat, recycle the energy, play the end, use 1 to power him up, and then knock him out with that. But we can do this and get the Shaman with the incidental. So 30 to the bench. That should be 120. That should be 3 cards all in one shot. And we are done, folks. That is Ho-Oh. Game 2. That was the awesome power of Ho-Oh. You could see exactly what I'm talking about. That once this deck is moving, it is a full head of steam. This is a train coming at you, I think. Difficult to stop. And you could see the draw is not a huge deal because I'm always putting energy on, and at some point in the game I don't really need it. So we're stuck here. So let's see what happens here. I was talking my mouth off how good this deck is without draw. And we're going to be without draw here unless my opponent plays an end. Alright. Oh, with these are nice. Oh, Sceptile. I think I said in another video I really want to make a Mega Sceptile deck happen. I love this card, man. This is a great card. So this should be interesting. Hopefully I'm not seeing Vileplume anytime soon. Oh, Lysander. That's probably all she had in that Trainer's Mail. Cannot attack me the first turn with this. Assault Vest does not matter to me. Alright, let's get some energy out of our deck first. We are going to get water. And how about 1 grass to even that out? So we can start charging this guy up. We have 3 energy we can put on him. Not exactly the right energy I need, but also very important to get the Vikavolt going. Alright, we'll go with Kukui. 2 cards here, and we can call him back next turn, which is good. So not exactly what we need, but oh, this is alright. It's not great, but I'm 2 turns away from powering him up. I think my opponent's not close to knocking out this Grubbin yet. This Assault Vest doesn't affect me at all, and alright. Oh, GX on its way. Sleep and Poison. So he will be dead by next turn if my opponent gets 1 more energy. Interesting to add a Sceptile to this deck. So Grubbin, thank you so much. Kukui comes back in my hand. Hopefully we could get a bigger draw here after this. No. But we can get our Charjabug. We will be able to use our Ho-Oh next turn with healing. So this is not so bad. Still asleep. Wake up, Grubbin. Time to die. If my opponent, if she can get another energy on the Sceptile, Grubbin will be dead, but I got some plans. Oh, Sycamore there. So I will not get bailed out by end this turn. Let's see what she was holding. Forest of Giant Plants. Super Rod. See why you wouldn't want to discard that. She's got a much better hand here. Lots more going on. I could even kill off this Fomantis before he gets big. I'll have to think about this a lot. Or I'll just keep talking and make mistakes. Either way. If I were playing for real, I would actually seriously think about, should I light? Well, I may not be an option here. Forest of Giant Plants is in play. Shaman's coming down. I'm sure this is going to be a GX very shortly. So that will be oh, interesting. Alright, I know where my 30 damage is going. I can Lysander 1 and 30 damage the Spinarak. So let's see what I get in my hand here. This should be interesting. We can use the paint roller. She chucked out 2 stadiums, so... Ah, very good. Here, we're going to do this. Ultra Ball. Yes, we'll do these 2. Oh, no. Most important card. I said this card's, you know, just as important, if not more important. You could win with 2 Vikavolts, I think, easier than you could with 2 Ho-Ohs. So we will do this. Put him back in our deck. Why not? I didn't have to play that. I have an N, but might as well. Now we can start. And this is why I'm playing more Ns and less Sycamores in this deck. Lightning. Oh, Grass can go on him. Lightning can go on him. Look at that. What is this? Turn 3, and I've got 4 different energy on my main Pokemon, and 1 on a bench Pokemon. And this is good. I would love a Fighting Fury Belt. You know, maybe I need some more of those in my deck. I don't know. We'll go with Ho-Oh. We'll go with the Professor's Letters because then he'll be powered up by next turn. And we'll almost have our second guy up. This is looking great. I think I put an energy on him. I'm not going to play the Professor's Letters. You know what? If I were playing a real game, I would go look at the log. I'm almost certain I already played attached to Grass Energy. Oh, that was on the thing. Whatever. I'm not going to do it now, but we are going to play this. We're going to get this. Let's go for Spinarak. So now my opponent may poison me, may do lots of bad things to me, but I can even get this guy set up and swap, so I'm feeling okay. This is good. I don't want to get end. As you can see, this is why I'm not too concerned with underdrawing. I actually considered putting like Tiernos and Hows in this deck. Just give me more cards because eventually I'm going to get what I need. Alright, so we're going to take 130 damage, but this guy will be going down in 2 turns. Ooh! That's not going to help him. That is not going to help him. That's going to help. I don't like seeing that. I'd love to get a Lysander in my hand, or even V-Seeker. Alright, poisoned. Hurt. No problem. We'll clean him up a little bit. We need to get a water energy, very important. I don't need to grab both because I'm only playing 1, but I may not play this. I may not play this guy. Hold on. I might have to because I have to get this grass energy out of my hand. Because there's 1, 2, 3 here. I'm going to play this just to get this grass energy back in my deck. Hopefully I don't get it back. Good. Tails. Great. Even better. So I know I have a grass energy in my deck. 1, 2. Alright, there was 1 of each. Again, kind of good to remember these things. And next turn wouldn't be so bad to play a Sycamore. You know, he's not ready to do anything with me with this guy. But I'm going to retreat anyway. Why not? And we're going to get rid of Grass and Lightning because we can put him right back on him. Look at that. How's that for some synergy? Look at this. He's healed. He's doing damage. This guy doesn't scare me all that much. Should I go after the Shaman? Let's go after the Ariados. I don't want to power up my opponent, get her Sceptiles all strong. So 2 cards here. Oh, wow. I don't know what to do with that. Now playing Sycamore is less appealing. I need something that recycles my energy, though. You know what? I'm most likely going to get an energy recycler, so I shouldn't be too worried. So I may play a Lysander and knock off one of these guys, or maybe the Shaman itself. That's what I may Lysander this guy. Go ahead, do your worst. No stadiums, because she chucked 2 with that early Sycamore. It was a tough decision. It was the right decision for her to make. Alright, Super Rod, some energy back, maybe? She's not finding her GX cards, which would help tremendously. Oh, can't even attack me, so I'm not Lysandering anything. Oh, that's even better. So we'll heal up our bench guy. And the cool thing about this ability, you can choose separately who to put them on. I may play a Kukui here, because this game is pretty much over. I could play a Kukui here, and I think on next turn I can Lysander the Shaman, and it'll be all over. Oh. So we're going to do this here. Let's get another Vikavolt if we can. Yes, we can. The only scary things is late in the game if your opponent traps these guys. So, you know, I'm going to put a water energy on him. I'm feeling pretty safe here. So if I really need to, I can use their ability potentially to get a retreat out of them. Not too concerned here. I can knock this. I can get it all in one turn. So my opponent, I think she's done unless she ends this Lysander out of my hand. Because I'll Lysander the Shaman, extra damage on the Sceptile, and we're all good. And as they say, Bob's your uncle. So, game 2 to me. Ah, this game is over. Alright, good game to my opponent. But we are going to go for the win. Look at that, knocking out 2 EXs in essentially 2 turns. How pretty cool is that? God, I love Shaman. Alright, next game right after this. Alright, game number 3. Ooh, is this Volcanion? This could cause a problem because we're weak against water. We'll go heads again. No, tails. Folks, are you tired of winning all the time? We're going to have so many wins with this deck. Believe me. Alright, here we go. That's enough for impersonations. Interesting. Interesting. Nest Ball. I have an Ultra Ball, but I don't think I'll use the Ultra Ball. I see fire. I see lots of fire. And I'm going to see rain too, I think. Let's see in what form. I'm guessing this is Volcanion. This should be interesting. Because these are like... Volcanion's like a George Foreman. Like just a boxer that just can hit really hard. Oh, my favorite. That's nice. I may do... Alright, game 3. Oh, very good. I have a feeling we're going to see Vileplume, maybe? You know what, folks? I'd love to see this stat. How often someone has a Shaman in their deck and they get it as their starting Pokemon and then just quit? What are the odds on that? I do not have an energy that helps him attack, so I'm not sure if I'm going to play Kukui or not. Ooh, Mega Venusaur. This is a good deck actually when used correctly, and I could have sworn this was my first thought. Excuse me, when looking at Vikavolt was to build a Mega Venusaur deck. Now, if you think my deck starts slow. Oh, and Spinarak again. Alright, so we're going against grass types again, which is fine with us. He is weak against water. Yeah, I think I'm going to play Kukui here. Kukui, Ultra Ball. I can get rid of the Lysander and something else. I could really get rid of the Evosoda. It depends on what I draw. I could get rid of this Fire Energy. Not really necessary. Although with Poison, maybe I want to do that. But again, the most important thing is getting this bug going. What's his attacks here? 60 and Poison. So maybe this guy isn't such a bad idea. Let's see what Trainer's Mail gives us. Nothing. That was the worst. Alright, I'm going to go with Kukui here. I'm feeling okay here. My opponent's not going to be knocking me out first turn. Oof. This is not at all what I want. I don't want to get rid of these two. So we're going to get rid of... I'm going to go with these two because I can play the N. And next, I'm not going to play it this turn, but again, it's very important to get Vikavolt out there. So I played an Energy. I've got one of each of my Pokemon, so I'm not going to play this N. Next turn, I'm going to Evosoda, and then I'll play the N. Because again, this is tempo. Tempo is, you know, 1 energy per turn for the most part, and evolving your Pokemon. If you're not doing that, you're losing time. So even though it cost me a V-Seeker and a Lysander, maybe I could have Lysandered one of his guys, but... Alright, so we've got some damage here to deal with. No point in playing the Lysander now. Again, well, I just want to make sure I got all my guys. Alright, they're all here. I can heal him up, so I'm going to be taking some damage here. But even if I get another Ho-Oh down, I'm feeling okay. Alright, this is good. Not exactly what I want, but I don't have that water energy again. Let me think for a second. There's no reason to play him now, unless it gives me a water energy. But if it does, I won't have anything to draw next turn, so... Let's just do this. I can retreat and sacrifice a Grubbin if I need to. We'll hold on to this next turn. Because if I draw a Sycamore, what I use this for will be different than if I draw something else. So I have an energy recycler here, so I can retreat and put that energy right back in my deck. We can sacrifice a Charjabug. Is he going to knock me out? 90 and 20, 110. No, he's not that close. Is he going after one of my little guys? Luckily, I got another one. So again, it's very important to get this guy up, because if these guys don't get up, if my opponent can snipe these all down, then it's going to be a lot harder for me. Oof. Well, he's got a Lysander to take this guy out, and that's his plan. And I cannot use this fire energy yet. I cannot place it on any of my Pokemon. I need to know what I'm getting here. Did not get the draw I need, so now I'm kind of dead-handed. So this could be the defeat you've all been waiting for. So let's save this guy. I mean, one way or the other, he's going to die. If I don't die, he's probably going to play a Sycamore or something else. But let's let him waste that Lysander. You know, he's got a chance to get this guy. He's got the Lysander in his hand. If he wants to come after him, that's fine. If he wants to kill off this Charjabug and then go after him next, that's another idea too. Although most likely, I don't know, I would probably sacrifice him, I would. Shauna, there you go. So my opponent not going to play an N. Very smart. Not going to put anything in my hand here. Didn't play the Sycamore, the Lysander either. We're going all in on Mega Venusaur here. You can see that. That's what he's going for. So unfortunately, I'm dead-handed here. All right, we're gonna evolve. We're gonna place this as our active. This Ho-Oh. He has the ability to heal himself. He's got a Fighting Fury belt, so he's got a little bit of. Exhale. All right. And of course, how much energy is here? Only 2, so no point in playing that energy recycler yet. I needed it to evolve him, and I need a water energy. And I've got both. All right, so we are back in the game. Oh, I didn't get him to evolve. Wait, I'm not back in the game. No Vikavolt. So, what to do here? Place an energy on him and take our lumps. Shall we thin out our deck a little bit? Do I really need another one? He's going to hurt him. Let's do it. Let's just get it out. Why not? Not much to do. I can retreat, but there's no point. Oh, I said this deck was good once you got the boulder rolling, but this boulder is stuck. I am going nowhere, folks. There it goes. See, I bragged about the win streak, and there it goes. All right, 120 and paralysis, so we are in deep doo here. Switch would be great. I have 1 in my whole deck. Just a really slow development here. I'm thinking of putting a water energy on one of these guys here. Yeah, this paralysis is going to hurt. What do we got? Nothing. All right. Absolutely nothing yet. Let's get another one. I just need the water, really. The water will go on one of these two. Let's go put the guy, do the one on the end. We'll play N here. Hope for a switch. Hope for a Vikavolt. And I've gotten neither. Nothing here. I could get one, but which one do I go for? Well, let's see what their options are. Nothing again. Oh, my goodness. This is just disastrous. All right. You know, in some sports, like in sport like basketball, where the NBA plays 82 games a year, they say, you know, there's 20 games you're going to win and 20 games you're going to lose. And then, you know, it's what you do in those other 42 that really count. And so this was just one that does not look like I'm going to win. Because where is it? Nobody's coming out to play. All my Pokemon leaving me out to dry here. Down to 3 prizes. So I can't even use a Vikavolt to stall. Gotta go with Ho-Oh. No stadium here to play my paint roller. I will take that. Alright, things are looking up. I might as well do this. Is there any point in putting any of this back in? I've got to put 3. Yes. For sure the grass. None of you guys. Sorry, you guys suck. Alright, grass. Water. Actually, we're going to go with 2 fire. Yeah, because those are the only 2 fire in my deck. I'm going to play the N instead of the birch because I'm not risking this all in a coin flip. 28 cards total. Can I get the one I need? I got it. All right. Well, now the switch came, so that'll actually help me out next turn. So this is looking up a little bit. Little tiny bit. Tiny, tiny bit. Let's use strong charge. 1, 2. All right. Boulder is moving, folks. Boulder is moving. And I see good things happening because I've got the switch in my hand. Please do not allow my opponent to play an N. And we're going after Mr. Sceptile. I can pull it out. I see the light at the end of the tunnel. Do I have enough to get the boulder down the end of the tunnel? I don't know. I've got everything I need. Ooh, 30 damage. Is that going to prevent me from one-shotting him? No. Just as long as he doesn't do that again. Don't care about that. That's fine with me too. Go ahead. Get rid of it. I got more. It's more where that came from. In fact, I'll put a fire energy on him anyway. So here we go. Here we go. That's fine. Poison me, paralyze me, because you're going down. You are going down, my friend. Here we go. We're going to make sure this guy can attack before I do anything. That's close. And we're going to heal you up. And I'm not going to play this Birch. Look at that. That is a thing of beauty right there. And now it looked like my opponent was just playing around with me. Now I think the tables have turned a little bit. Still not there. Still not there. Let's not celebrate yet. He can Lysander these guys and I can be a little bit stuck. But that is a little bit of the weakness of this deck. But boy, this feels good. The boulder is moving. All right. So plan is he's going to do 130 damage to this Ho-Oh. Put a water on him. Maybe swap out. Play a Kukui or play a Birch. And I'm going to throw the added... I don't have to, actually. I'm going to throw the added damage on this Sceptile. That's what I'm going to do. Because then I can Kukui him, right? How much damage does he have? 170. So 30 will bring him down to 140. And he'll be in... I don't think I need to retreat here. I'm going to put the blue energy on him. I'm going to save my whole hand. Do I have any energy to put down? Let me think for a second. Let's say I do retreat him. First of all, let's heal this guy. Let's say I do retreat him and then attack. I still have to power up this guy, so I need like N or something to get more cards back in my hand. If I leave him here, I'm going to knock this guy out and put some damage on him. He'll knock me out, but then I'm going to knock him out. And I don't think he knows I have this Kukui in my hand, so I'm just curious. What can I get from here? 1 lightning. Let's put it on him. So, we're going to go through with this. I'm just hoping my opponent doesn't play an N. But I don't think that matters. Well, the Kukui, I need the Kukui. But even still, I think he's 2 shots away from knocking him out. I think. Although he can always Lysander one of these guys. So let's see what happens. Poison Nest, not needed. Alright, we got this one. Thank you, Professor Kukui. And see, and I was going to put How in this deck. So the boulder started moving. And our opponent cannot stop it. Nothing to do here except for Kukui, heal. I'm going to heal anyway. I'm going to play this a little tiny bit safe. No. Kukui. That should give me the extra oomph I need. Be 150. 160. And we won. Look at that. Holy cow. Folks, I'm telling you, this deck... Ooh, cool trade. Maybe that was one of our contest winners. I'm telling you guys, this deck looks like the real deal to me. I've had someone else check it out. They said it looks pretty good. This looks really good to me. There's something huge here. You see how this deck, just once it gets on a roll, it really just tears into your opponent. It'd been nicer to play against maybe some better decks. Evelto is a good deck. I don't think my opponent had the best hand that game. Last game you could see how we were just getting thrashed and how fast this deck can come around. Now, granted, that switch came in handy. But I think you get what I'm talking about with the supporters. The supporters, you don't need too much, and a lot of times it just kind of wasting your hand away. You really want, later in the game, you really want this other good stuff, and you don't want to be drawing cards. So that's why this is the configuration I used. You can see how very important it is to get strong charge. Without that, it makes Ho-Oh less viable and less strong. But with it, you could see all in one turn. Ho-Oh's ability for purifying fire, the ability to fighting Fury Bell to give it 220 hit points. There's so many things to like about this deck. I just love it. So again, we're going to do a big giveaway for this deck, 4 Ho-Oh-EXs for 332 line of Vikavolt. So make some good comments, and I'll see you next time. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you'll know when our next video is released. Also, check out our playlists where you can find videos by topics like mill decks or cheap EX decks.